The first platform that you see when you come into the gallery is devoted to the earliest history of the Healdsburg Plaza. The plaza was actually laid out in 1857 at the request of town founder Harmon Heald, and he hired someone named William Mock, who was a surveyor, to draw up the very first plat of Healdsburg. If you look to the very left, you'll see William Mock's drawing tools that have been donated to the Healdsburg Museum. And with those drawing tools, you'll see the very first plat map of Healdsburg. In the center of this platform, you will see a model of an 1881 bell tower that was once in the middle of the plaza and actually served as the town's fire bell. Whenever there was a fire alarm sounded, they would actually ring the bell in the middle of the plaza to call the fire department. So you'll see there behind that model of the town fire bell is actually fire department equipment, including a leather water bucket from the early Healdsburg Fire Department. On the far right of this platform, you'll see one of the first street signs of Healdsburg. Originally, that street sign was at the corner of Center and Plaza Street. Plaza Street is now called Plaza. Back in the day, it used to be named Powell. Now is a display of Healdsburg's Plaza in 1886. This is actually a replica of the facades of the buildings that used to stand along Healdsburg Plaza in the early 1800s. If you look above the model, what you can actually see are pictures that were taken in 1886 and 87 that show some of the buildings that you see before you. Everything on this platform was created from looking at historical photographs of the downtown plaza, and the model maker was John LaCalade, who's a retired cabinet maker and carpenter. He was assisted by Maggie Bates, who's also a museum volunteer. She created and dressed the tiny little people that are in the model. There are pictures of Healdsburg's original city hall and its second city hall that gave way to the one that we see today. This corner of the exhibit is all about conflict in the plaza, especially around the early 1900s. In 1899, a group of determined ladies who formed the Ladies Improvement Club set about trying to beautify Healdsburg and try to make improvements all over town. So they determined that the best thing to do was tear down the bandstand and replace the bandstand with a drinking fountain. On the other side of the platform is another story of conflict in the plaza. This one was set in 1904, and it involved a beautiful young teenage girl named Isabel Simi. Isabel was chosen to be the beautiful floral festival queen, but unfortunately the editor of the Windsor paper took exception to that and publicly shamed her in the press, calling her a racial slur as well as an ugly girl. The people of Healdsburg were outraged. About 150 of them actually met on the plaza and created an effigy of Andy Nowlin with a cabbage head, stuffed a suit full of straw. They hung the effigy and paraded around the Healdsburg Plaza saying, "3 cheers for Queen Isabel, 3 hearty groans for Andy the Nowlin the Knocker." This corner of the exhibit is all about the turnaround and growth that Healdsburg has experienced since about 1980. One of the main anchor businesses that seemed to really help with the turnaround for the downtown was the construction of Hotel Healdsburg. And here in this exhibit you can actually see the architectural rendering that was made. Throughout this exhibit you'll see photographs of some of the monuments that are standing today in Healdsburg Plaza. Most recent of which is a 9/11 monument that is dedicated to the first responders at the September 11th terrorist attacks. There's also a monument that's a war memorial to Healdsburg and Geyserville soldiers who were killed in battle. There's also a monument which is in the shape of a torch that is dedicated to Healdsburg's champion athletes in the plaza. There's a millstone from Cyrus Alexander's original grist mill. And throughout the plaza, if you go there today, you will see examples of some of the history that have been commemorated in monuments throughout the plaza.